12 of the most famous pieces of money advice went into the lab. Most of them failed the evidence. These are the 12 habits that survived and the two men who lived on opposite sides of the results. Two people, same age, same city, same company, same monthly salary. When Arjun and Kabir joined the company, their financial lives were almost identical. 12 years later, they walked out of the same office on the same Tuesday night. Kabir sat inside his car staring at 3 notifications: credit card payment due, home loan EMI tomorrow, account balance below minimum. He wanted to leave his job, but without the next salary, his financial life would begin falling apart within weeks. A few meters away, Arjun was carrying a cardboard box. He had just resigned, not for a higher salary. He was taking 3 months away from work to spend time with his parents and decide what he wanted to do next. Kabir looked at him. How can you afford to stop working? We earn almost the same. That is the case we are opening today. There was no lottery winner here, no inheritance, no secret stock. The difference was created quietly through decisions too small to look important when they happened. To reconstruct those decisions, we will take their financial lives through 4 rooms. Time, how the brain treats tomorrow. Status, how other people change what feels normal. Money, how income becomes either debt or ownership. And attention, how good decisions survive after motivation disappears. 3 habits in every room, 12 habits in total. At the entrance to each room, one famous piece of money advice will be placed in the ground. 3 hints before we begin. One of these habits is a form nobody filled in. One is a rule that reaches every race before the new lifestyle does. And in the final room, we will bury the most trusted word in self-help, willpower itself. By the end, we will know why 2 identical payslips produce 2 completely different kinds of freedom. The time room begins with one of psychology's most famous stories. A child is offered 1 marshmallow now or 2 later. The popular lesson became enormous. Children who wait grow into more successful adults. But the simple version of that story did not survive. A much larger 2018 study followed 918 children. The relationship with later achievement became substantially smaller after researchers accounted for family background, early ability, and the home environment. In 2020, researchers returned to 113 participants from the original Stanford studies. Preschool waiting time did not significantly predict their midlife income, net worth, or debt. The marshmallow was not reading destiny. It was also reading context, trust, and opportunity. Patience still matters, but wealth is not proof that someone was born with superior willpower. The useful question is different. How can an ordinary person make tomorrow feel important today? Habit 1. Give your future self a real life. On their first payday, both men celebrated. Kabir upgraded his phone. Arjun bought dinner for his family. Then Arjun opened a blank document and wrote 3 sentences. At 37, I want to survive an emergency without borrowing. I want the freedom to leave work that is damaging my life. I want old age to depend on more than my next salary. Researchers have tested a version of this idea. In 4 experiments, people interacted with age-progressed images of themselves. In the first study, the people who met their older selves set aside more than twice as much for retirement, $172 against $80 in a hypothetical allocation task. The effect held across all 4 experiments, promising, not magical, and the researchers themselves described the work as preliminary. That is why the grade is A-. The habit is not daydreaming about a rich future. It is giving a future need a phase, a date, and a monthly number. Kabir's future remained later. Arjun's future had an appointment. Habit 2. Start small enough to start now. Arjun did not begin with a heroic amount. He moved 6,000 rupees from every salary into long-term investments. Some months, the number felt embarrassingly small. But compounding does not ask whether the first contribution is impressive. It asks how often it returns and how long it remains. This is the same mechanism that delivered roughly 81 of Warren Buffett's $84 billion after his 65th birthday. Not brilliance, duration. He simply started as a child and never stopped. Kabir planned to invest after his next promotion, then after buying the car, then when the market felt safer. Arjun used a small amount and a long runway. Kabir kept waiting for a large amount and a perfect moment. This habit earns an A because the mechanism is arithmetic. Regular contributions plus time create more opportunity for compounded growth. Returns are uncertain, time is not. Habit 3. Let the plan survive the headlines. 7 years later, markets fell sharply. Kabir had finally started investing. He watched financial news, saw his balance fall and sold. Arjun felt the same fear. He checked his account 3 times in one day. His finger hovered over the sell button. Then he looked at the date attached to the goal. The money was not needed next month. His investments were diversified and his emergency cash lived somewhere else entirely. So he did nothing. Historical research on more than 66,000 brokerage households found that the most active traders earned roughly 11% a year, while the market returned nearly 18%. That exact gap belongs to that sample and that era. And the same pattern reappeared when researchers studied day traders in entirely different markets. Activity can create costs without creating skill. The habit is not never change anything. It is change the plan when your life changes, not whenever the headline changes. The first room explains why Arjun began earlier. The second explains why his rising income did not disappear. The status room. At 29, Arjun and Kabir received the same promotion. That night, Kabir raised his glass and said the sentence the status treadmill is built on. Finally, now I can live a little. He moved into a better apartment, upgraded his car and added 3 new subscriptions. None of the choices looked reckless by itself, but 3 months later, his larger salary felt exactly like the old one. This is the status treadmill. Income rises. The definition of normal rises with it. There is always another neighborhood, another phone, and another person whose life looks one level better. A race without a finish line cannot be won by running faster. Habit 4. Choose the scoreboard and the room. Kabir compared his complete financial life with other people's visible purchases. Arjun changed the scoreboard. Once a year, he asked 4 questions. Is my emergency reserve larger? Is my expensive debt smaller? Is my savings rate higher? Is my earning ability stronger? He also changed part of his environment. He did not abandon his friends. He added a second circle where people discussed skills, investing, and opportunities, as normally as others discussed shopping. Randomized field research has found that savings goals, monitoring and feedback can meaningfully change saving behavior. But choose better friends and you will become wealthy is much too strong. Grade B+. Environment influences the default. It does not decide the outcome. Habit 5. Protect the gap. Arjun improved his lifestyle too. He traveled. He bought a better laptop. He was not trying to win a suffering competition, but his lifestyle grew more slowly than his income. That reservoir is where wealth begins. Not in the salary itself, but in the part that remains available for saving, ownership, and future choices. This habit earns an A for a boring reason. It is accounting. If every raise becomes a permanent expense, a higher income can produce a richer appearance without producing greater resilience. Habit 6. Give every race 2 destinations. Before their next promotion, Arjun created a rule. Half of every race could improve today. The other half would be invested for tomorrow. The idea resembles the Save More Tomorrow program. Employees agreed in advance to increase retirement contributions when future races arrived. In the best-known implementation, participants' average contribution rate rose from 3.5% to 13.6% by the 4th race. That is a striking result, but the original comparison was not a perfect randomized test. So we grade the principle B+ rather than pretending the evidence is flawless. The genius of the rule is timing. It does not ask you to cut a lifestyle you already feel entitled to. It reaches the race before the new lifestyle does. That was the second hint from the beginning. The form nobody filled in is still waiting in the last room. By 32, Arjun had a growing gap and a long-term portfolio. Then both men encountered the kind of event that reveals whether wealth is real or decorative. The money room. Personal finance advice loves a small villain. Coffee is visible, repeatable, and easy to shame. Cutting a daily expense can absolutely help when the money is redirected toward a real goal. But coffee is not usually the largest financial lever in a household. Housing, transport, high-interest debt, major emergencies, income and investment behavior can overpower years of tiny savings. The lesson is not small expenses never matter. It is do not obsess over a 200 rupee purchase while ignoring a 20,000 rupee structural problem. So this room buries the claim and keeps the coffee. Habit 7. Build a buffer before life sends the bill. That year, Kabir's father required urgent medical treatment. In the same month, Arjun's motorbike was badly damaged. Kabir had income but no liquid reserve. He used a credit card. Arjun used his emergency account. The fund did not earn an exciting return. It prevented an ordinary shock from becoming long-term debt and protected his investments from a forced sale. Research consistently links a regular saving habit and emergency reserves with greater financial security. Much of that evidence is observational, but the mechanism is pure arithmetic. A buffer is what stands between one ordinary emergency and a balance compounding against you at 20%. Grade A-. Start with one small shock. Build towards several months of essential expenses according to the stability of your income and responsibilities. Habit 8. Stop compounding from working against you. Kabir's credit card balance followed him for months. He paid the minimum. Interest continued accumulating. When Arjun showed him the statement, Kabir stared at the total. "I'm paying, but the debt barely moves." "Because compounding has changed sides," Arjun said. Paying expensive debt is not glamorous, but reducing a high guaranteed interest cost can be more valuable than chasing an uncertain investment return. The habit is simple. Pay every minimum on time. Stop adding new balances. Then attack the highest interest rate with every extra rupee you can sustain. Grade A. The saving comes from the contract's arithmetic. Habit 9. Own broadly and pay quietly. Kabir once asked Arjun why he did not buy shares in one fashionable company. "You use its products every day," Kabir said. "Why not bet on it?" "Because liking a product is not the same as understanding its price," Arjun replied. Arjun owned diversified funds appropriate for his time horizon and risk tolerance. He compared fees because every recurring charge was money that could no longer compound for him. Diversification cannot prevent a market decline. It reduces the damage that one company, one sector, or one confident prediction can cause. That is why this habit earns an A. Ownership builds wealth. Concentration builds a story. They are not the same thing. Arjun now had protection and ownership. But protection is useless if good choices occur only on motivated days. The final room contains the mechanism that made all the others repeat. The attention room. For years, a popular theory claimed that self-control behaves like a battery. Use it during the day, and by night it is depleted. Large pre-registered replication projects did not find the large, dependable effect the original story promised. One project across 36 laboratories and 3,531 participants found only a tiny result that did not provide a clear victory for either the theory or the null. This does not mean fatigue is imaginary or self-control is useless. It means a wealth plan should not require perfect psychological performance every evening for 40 years. Nobody's willpower is strong enough to be a retirement plan. And that was the third hint from the start of this case. The most trusted word in self-help: buried. Habit 10. Guard attention with friction. Kabir's phone knew his weaknesses: late night offers, product launches, investment tips, one-click checkout. Arjun saw the same temptations. He was not immune. His words: "I cannot win an argument with my phone at 11 p.m. so I stopped attending the argument." He made impulsive spending slower. He removed saved cards from shopping apps, turned off promotional notifications, placed large wants on a dated list. If the desire survived the waiting period and fit the plan, he could buy it without guilt. At the same time, he made good decisions easier: separate accounts, simple funds, and clear goals. Commitment devices and choice design have improved saving in field experiments, although no study proves that one universal waiting period is ideal. Grade B+. The principle has evidence. The exact number of waiting days is a personal tool. Habit 11. Invest attention in earning power. 3 evenings a week, Arjun invested in an asset no app could chart: his ability to communicate, analyze information, and lead projects. He did not buy random courses. He chose skills his industry was already paying for, practiced them on real work, and tracked whether they improved his opportunities. Kabir spent many evenings recovering from stressful work. That did not make him lazy. It showed how hard it is to improve a life after that life has consumed all available energy. Education and specialized skills are strongly associated with earnings and employment, but no course guarantees a return. Grade B+. The habit is not buy education. It is build abilities with visible demand and a credible path to use them. Those abilities eventually gave Arjun confidence that one employer did not control his entire future. Habit 12. Make the right action the default. This is the switch that connected every room, and it is the first hint from the beginning, the form nobody filled in. At one large company, changing retirement saving from complete a form to join to complete a form to leave raised participation from 49% to 86%. Other workplace studies also found participation above 85% under automatic enrollment. Same employees, same salaries, a different default. But the research contains a warning. Many employees remain stuck at contribution rates that were too low. Automation is powerful. It is not intelligent. It repeats whatever number you give it. So, Arjun automated 4 actions: saving on salary day, investing every month, paying bills before penalties, increasing contributions after races. Once a year, he reviewed the amounts. Grade A+ for changing participation and consistency, with one condition. The settings still need a human check. The old advice said, win the argument with yourself every day. The better system says, have the argument once, then let the default remember. Now we can answer Kabir's question. Arjun could leave his job because 12 habits had been buying him options for 12 years. His emergency fund could absorb a shock. His expenses had not consumed every raise. His high-interest debt was gone. His investments were diversified, regular, and relatively inexpensive. His skills could travel with him to another employer, and none of it depended on feeling disciplined every morning. Kabir looked at the cardboard box in Arjun's hands. So I ruined my future? Arjun shook his head. No, you are still meeting your future every day. That night, Kabir did not attempt all 12 habits. He made one automatic transfer for the next salary day. Then he scheduled a larger credit card payment for salary day and removed his saved card from 2 shopping apps. The amount was small, but 12 years earlier, Arjun's first amount had been small too. And by now, one question is probably forming. For my age, am I ahead or behind? Hold that question. The answer is one video away. Not every financial outcome is within our control. Illness, unemployment, family responsibilities, and bad luck can change anyone's life. But when income and opportunity are similar, financial futures can still separate because of the systems people repeat. The richest looking person in the room may not have the most freedom. Real wealth is often invisible. It is the emergency you can handle, the opportunity you can accept, the bad job you can leave, and the time you can finally call your own. Same salary, different systems, different future. Choose one number, not 12. 1. Write it in the comments and make the first action small enough to complete tonight. Because the final lesson from the Money Lab is not that disciplined people win. It is that ordinary people can build systems that keep working after discipline leaves the room. And the question you've been holding, ahead or behind for your age, the honest benchmarks at 25, 30, 35 and 40 are in the video on your screen right now. Watch it next. See you there.